probably going to be the final installment of our Dark Devotion playthrough here on the channel. My name is Brady, I'll be your host this afternoon, and a big thanks to anybody joining us live in Twitch chat or catching this after the fact as a VOD on YouTube. Also, if you notice some missing parts in my YouTube VOD uploads, like episodes that just didn't seem to make it, I apologize for that. It was recently brought to my attention, and by recently I mean yesterday, that Twitch's upload and export process is more than a little spotty, and you kind of have to babysit each individual upload to ensure that it actually goes live, instead of just firing and forgetting, which I will be doing from here on out. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm joined today by Seth the Overwitch, who is doing her best to make it through some side effects.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna survive. Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a great little indie Metroidvania / Dead Cells-like, and honestly, one of my favorite games we've played this year. It's good stuff. And we've made it to the tail end of the game. All we have left, as far as I'm aware, in the principal path of progression, is Azrael, the King's Paladin, that big bulky knight with a great sword and a bevy of lightning-based attacks that actually, since we fought him with like half health and no heals last time, doesn't seem that bad. And then I believe we have the king himself. But, as I promised, off-screen, I went through and collected a few more of these ancient tablets to get as many permanent buffs as I could easily. But, I also completed as many of those, like, little quests we received from the scribe in the hub world. You know, kill X amount of enemies in zone Y, and so on. And they followed a pretty basic pattern. You know, kill a certain amount of enemies, from the den. Kill a different type of enemy from the den. Then go kill the entity again. Kill a certain type of enemy from the cathedral. Then a certain type of enemy from the palace. Then kill the ritualist again. So it was a lot of stuff that would just be repetitious were it actually displayed on screen. But we got a very special quest toward the end of this little quest chain. See, according to the scribe, there's a profane altar, I suppose right here, in the dungeon. And we need to go interact with it. We know nothing else about the quest save that much. But notice that the quest is represented by a strange silhouetted figure in the upper right-hand corner. This, friends, tells me bonus boss. I'm all about this.
Oh, yeah.
If we can wring a little bit more content and another stellar boss battle out of this game, and again, bosses have been the highlight of it so far, I'm all about this. Now, I do think, because I saw a YouTube comment, one quest we might be given afterwards is to go back and kill the crow lady with our bare hands, like no weaponry equipped. Wow. That's gonna be fun. But this I'm actually looking forward to. We didn't unlock much for completing all those other quests, just a bevy of consumable items we can start with. So, like, if you want to start out with an item... Hey, Exit, welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're doing well. How you doing?
The house. I was gonna say Exit entered the house, but it's too early for bad puns.
Let's see. We want to take this gemstone. Yeah, so we've got consumables, like if you want to increase your crit chance, you can start off with some needles. If you want to start off with throwing knives for whatever reason, you can. A lot of these aren't super helpful to me, but this quest line did unlock the prospect of an optional boss battle for me, and that makes me very, very excited. Exit says it's never too early, Seth.
Oh, great.
Fair enough.
You know what was really fascinating, what kind of warmed my heart, is when Angel told us that he bought the game because he saw you play it.
Yes. You know? That was absolutely
that
lovely.
Makes me so happy. It's like, oh my god, like what we do actually matters. You know, we're influencing people to make a good decision? Question mark?
Support indie studios, a really promising indie studio here. Again, as far as I'm aware, this was their first game. Which is just insane to me, given the quality and the amount of content that's here.
It really, really looks good, and like, I mean, I haven't played it, but seeing you enjoy it so much, yeah.
There we go. What's he gonna drop for us? Oh yeah, also, since killing the Crow Lady, this Order of Assassins, like, her who can transform into crows, have started spawning randomly in the dungeons and will come after us with massive black scythes. So, probably, well, I was gonna say probably shouldn't have done that, but of course we should. It's a boss. They exist to die. As it says, I'm interested in seeing the game. Gives me a lot of Salt and Sanctuary. I enjoy this a lot more than Salt and Sanctuary. There's far less emphasis on platforming. Every single boss battle is mechanically and aesthetically unique. Very few bosses have been just standard, straight-up slugfests. There's usually been some kind of gimmick that you can work with if you so choose, like bosses that are based primarily on spawning ads, totally unique ads you can't find anywhere else, to do a lot of the legwork for them because they're kind of, well, weak. Or bosses that... Hold on a moment.
Oh, by the way, Exit, don't forget to join our joint Discord before Brady closes the other one. Like, we would love
Yes,
to have
please.
You there. Oh, goddamn. So I had also veterinarian visits today. So that was like really nice, you know, all of my bones hurt, and I had to keep both Beppo and Poppy still while they were getting vaccinated.
Sorry, one second. Exit, you'll need to go to our other Discord. I've yet to update the hyperlink there, my bad.
Wait, I'm gonna give you the link.
I never use my Discord command. Oh, are we supposed to interact with this? Oh no. Well, we need a bomb, I think, to get through this wall. This actually curses us for the remainder of our run. This might be the altar they wanted us to interact with.
Oh, yeah, what I was wanting to say is Poppy had some blood in her pee for the last couple of days.
Oh no.
But, yeah, I was freaking out, but the doctor said it's probably because of her, like, from the heat, because it stopped, like, last week.
Right.
So, but she was a really good girl, and she even endured getting, you know, a thermometer stuck in her butt. So, yeah, good girl. She's setted me out.
Handled all of this like a trooper, hasn't she?
Yeah, she was like, whoa, when the thermometer penetrated her gentle parts.
So what exactly are we supposed to do in this room? Are we gonna have to fight one of the Crow Lady's Reapers? Is that the gimmick here?
Exit says, haha, Lady Demisevsku, I'm crying. Yeah,
I mean, she had to, right?
Yeah. I'm also getting into this habit of, like, changing my nickname once a week. Like, I think last week I was Beppo and Poppy's food dispenser.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, so...
Let's see.
It's making it exciting.
What on earth is down here? Yeah. Well, traps. And what that curse does is it limits our stats, including health and armor, to 1, or to a base of 1. So I would very much...
Shelby.
Good evening, sir. How we doing? Oh.
Oh, god damn it.
There's that damn altar they told me to search out. I see. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Alright. Bonus boss with crap stats. Can we do it? Oh! It's a shade. A bunch of shades of ourself. We were the true enemy all along.
I mean... kinda cliche, but okay.
But 3 of us. That's nasty. At least I could teleport and they can't. I'd love to see if we could do this without taking the curse, because that would make my life 1,000 times easier, but We'll see. Oh, got one of them. The great sword wielder's down. And has instantly been replaced by a regular sword wielder. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say, I really love it how lately there's so many games that have like a pixel graphics, but like realistic pixel graphics.
Yes.
I just love the style.
This looks very reminiscent, I think Angel mentioned Prince of Persia, but like of old school computer games.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Oof. So is this just going to keep summoning them, or what do we do here?
I'm really trying to like rush through Danganronpa 3 just to be done with it. I mean, I like the
series.
character. Yeah, I just want to be done with the series. Hey, Beppo, you want cheese? Yeah, you want cheese.
Well, of course he does, it's food.
Yeah, like, he's not impressed by salami, but cheese. Oh my god.
Am I missing something here, or is this just a massive gauntlet of them we have to slug through? Probably a massive gauntlet.
Exit says, how far are you in? That's what she said.
Oh,
Probably further than me.
We're... asking you, Seth. Talking about Dark Souls.
I honestly forgot. Wait, what did I... Oh yeah, I killed Big Ed.
Mm-hmm, and you made it to the top of Earthen Peak.
Yeah.
So, nearing the midpoint of the game exit, though not quite there. Again, Dark Souls 2 DLC included is very, very big.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't have internet last week because I moved apartments again. So I missed a couple of streams, and I missed yesterday's stream because I am getting wrecked by the vaccine, so yeah. But I'm hoping soon to continue. And you know, in my usual fashion, I have no idea what's happening. Brady's just pointing me towards the bosses and says kill them. And that explains why I'm killing them.
Oh, we completed the quest. Excellent. So now we just have to kill these suckers as gravy. Alright. Well, it wasn't exactly a bonus boss, but this was a fun exercise.
Exit says, yeah, I should pick it up at some point, but I got drawn back into Dark Souls 3 again.
Oh, nice, nice.
I have a friend who really hated Souls-like games, and then for some reason he decided to give Dark Souls 3 a try again, and now he's absolutely in love with it. He has like 5 characters or something.
Seems like my experience with the franchise overall. I hated Dark Souls 1 when a friend introduced me to it. But it's also because that friend happened to try to teach me to play the game in a very specific way. I'm sure you can imagine.
Exit says, yeah, he never helped me do that stuff. Yeah, he liked to watch you suffer for some reason. Like the invader? No, what was that?
The pursuer! Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, no, Exit, you asked for a slightly more hands-off approach, which I gladly provided. Well, that and I couldn't just not, like, give Seth an opportunity to reference Big Ed by setting up some lore for her. Oh, apparently we got a new Big Ed video just a little while ago. Oh, come on, just drop your guard.
Yeah, I saw like half of the video, and then you started the stream. But yeah, from what I've seen, like, Colt is like really tearing Big Ed a new one. Exit says, I got 3 at the moment. I lost all my saves when I built my new PC. True, Brady.
Oh, I gotcha.
And also, Schnaufy says, first time always hurts. Giggity.
Well, it does, especially since I want to say the friend who's, like, introduced me to the series, again, seemed to think, and this wasn't, like, condescending, like, patronage on his part. He seemed to genuinely think that, okay, there is one kind of magic build. There's kind of one ideal way to play the game, and if you just learn how to play it this way, then you can do it.
I also love it how, like, Schnauffi said an obvious innuendo, and you just, like, passed right next to it, like you usually do. Love it.
Oh, no, it's not that I don't recognize, it's that I don't acknowledge, you see.
Right. Says, I didn't get to Big Ed, right?
No, you did not. No, you made it past the Witch of Izalith's, reincarnation, which is the hardest of the 4 Lord Soul fights, and if I'm correct, you are 2 bosses away from Big Ed.
Exit says, Schnauffi, there's always lube. Wait, what? And Schnauffi says,
I have to farm loot? Farm? What? Oh dear.
Giggity.
Exit says that's what you and I are for, Seth. Yeah, like recognition of and discourse surrounding innuendo.
Peppo, do you wanna go caca? Should we go caca? Okay. I need to take the pooch to poop.
Gotcha. Let's turn this quest in and see what we get. The church is satisfied with your work, Templar. The next assignments will be worthy of your skill, but in the meantime, here's your reward, another consumable, no doubt. The king's 4th guardian, Adonius, is a very presumptuous man. I would like to see him suffer a fate worse than death. Humiliation. But not so fast. You'll have to wear this during combat. Oh no, it's going to curse us constantly, isn't it? Every single enemy is now an elite. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, with the build we have, in theory, dungeon enemies shouldn't be that bad. Remember, Adonius was the 3rd boss we encountered, and he does nothing to combat us directly whatsoever. He just calls in 5 or so waves of enemies from the first set of dungeons. Hey, Eclipse! Good evening, sir. How we doing? And Eclipse, be sure to let me know. I'm gonna try to wrap this up pretty quickly, but, once you begin your stream, I will be more than happy to send all of our audience your way. I'll be, happy to raid you. As long as we have time. Eclipse is doing good. How are you? Doing quite well, thank you. Quite well. We're just wrapping up the game's quests. We found this very interesting little altar which forced us to fight an army of clones of ourselves. Like these dark, shadowy clones of the player character, with a single point of armor and a single point of health. That was fun. And now we have to go fight Adonius again. You know, the really passive envoy who presented us with what essentially amounted to wave survival, with the stipulation that we have to wear this cursed earring that makes every enemy an elite. Given our damage output, I'm not super scared about that right now, but we'll see how it goes. So for this, we probably want to go... Sewers, maybe? Sewers to cell block? Clip says, doing good, how are you? I'm hanging in there, thank you. Clip says, I'm scheduled to go live in 1:10, but I can hold off a bit if you need more time. We will see. It seems like these quests aside, there is not much left of this game. We've got one of the King's Guardians, who seems to be a really simple fight relative to a lot of what we've seen. And that we even get an ally for. That wonderful princess, who is the nicest person we've met so far, aids us in the battle. And then we've got the king himself, at like the throne he usurped from the gods, I suppose. You know the good thing about all these enemies being elites? They drop oodles of goodies. What you got for us, sirs? Strange poultice cures a disease, sure. A bell, no thank you. Bomb, yeah sure, why not? Elite Clawman, I'm not super keen on that. Poultice, good. Surgical device, don't need that. The granite sword, we've got nothing else, so. Web says, valid, so really not much. As far as I'm aware, unless there's some kind of crazy bonus boss I'm just totally missing. Granted, we have no idea how challenging the king is gonna be, but we've made you know, if not always the smoothest, pretty steady progress in this game. So, I am dangerously confident. Wooden bow, that's not really for us. Well, actually, might as well. Clip says confident is dangerous. Don't I know it? But hey, remember we defeated those wardens, so we unlocked the self-esteem perk. It's okay to be confident now. And yes, there's an actual skill in this game called self-esteem you receive for killing one particular boss. I love it. Every enemy's an elite. You know, that's valid, but so are we at this point. Dropped a flail and some kind of consumable, it looks like. Okay, now Elite Nailman is something to worry about. And remember, these are the kinds of enemies he's gonna be sending after us. So, no big deal. The Elite Bullmen are probably going to be very, very durable, but everything else is fine. Hey, Val, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, sir. How's your day been so far? We are at the tail end of the game, more or less, and it has been a fantastic ride. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, lots of good weapons here, but I'm keeping this bow with us just in case we need a ranged capability to, like, open a door or something. Oh, maybe not. Also, so far so good. Scalp is a little sore from the bleaching, but otherwise okay. Right on. Yeah, like, a serious bleaching will cause some residual side effects for a little while, but I'm glad it's not... or glad to hear it's not too bad, at the least. Rune of Doubt. Chances of slowing enemies. Okay. Well, since I'm pretty sure we don't need a bow now, why don't we go back and grab... the standard. It's a polearm. Gives us a little bit of reach. Exit asks, Brady, why is your stream partner not a mod yet? Sorry? Oh, Eclipse? We should give him mod privileges before too long, yeah? I'll in fact see about doing that straight away after today's stream. Thank you for reminding me, or bringing it to my attention. We will get those permissions set up for you, Eclipse. And he says, I managed to get my room clean today. Feels awesome. Right on. I'm gonna have to spend some time, probably while I'm watching your stream, cleaning my kitchen. Made these wonderful shrimp tacos yesterday, but there's quite a lot of cleanup of pans and the like that I've got to get around to. Val says I gotta do the same thing. I gotcha. It's really a testament to how crazily, over-cluttered modern schedules can be. When you can be in lockdown, effectively, for over a year, and still have to set aside time to clean the 2 or 3 rooms you've been stuck in for those 14 months. You know what I mean? Poke. Gaining faith refills your stamina while you've got the banner equipped. Oh, that's nice. You know how much I love my stamina. Cliff says, I still have way too much clutter, but I can't really help that till I move out. Yeah, clutter can sneak up on you. Like, there's so many things I can just remember in my life that I've kept around for ages thinking, perfectly reasonably too, oh, never know if you might need, when I might need this. And of course, years pass and I never need this. But you always just keep it around as a contingency, or just in case, you know what I mean? And of course, just in case never comes. Damage boost, that's better than our old rune. Let's go ahead and hit the teleport, and Adonius should be right through here. Right? Wait, no, we want the lowermost door. So hold on. Let's make sure that's actually where we're heading. Come on now. Well, that does in fact appear to be the door. I don't see another here. Hey, Angel, welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're doing well. We're gonna try to get this sucker cleared out today. Oh, weak wall. Hold on. Oh, another bomb is our reward. Well, okay. Clip says, to be fair, my graphics tablet cable broke and I actually dug out a near-decade-old cable that happened to fit. No, cables are always handy to keep around. I keep a lot of mine, like, clustered up in a closet, but then again, a ton of them are also crowded around the living room. I'll have to show you guys my streaming setup or what passes for one someday. It's a mess, but it works. Alright, Adonius. Bring it on. Starting off with a couple of those hollows, right? Yep. Ow. Silly me. Can't get overconfident.
Maybe why you have a shield and you're not using it.
Hey, Exit, welcome to voice chat. Thanks for joining us. So...
You didn't tell me. We'd come by, and I came by.
No, I appreciate it. Good to hear from you, man. So shields are super useful in very specific situations in this game. We got a perk about halfway through that replaces our roll with like a double range teleport, and on a 2D plane, that's just so much more effective.
Yeah. Sounds a little bit like a little bit overpowered, maybe.
Not necessarily. Not against enemies that can control the arena and deny, account for zone denial really, really well. Many later game bosses can do this.
So you can't roll through everything then?
Well, you can, but certain attacks cover substantial range or executed in really quick succession, so like a roll might actually put you in a worse place than you started out at.
Oh, Valakolas, I read in the fact when you complained about the rolls being too long, and now you've got a double range teleport.
Yeah, well, the first couple of dungeons in the game, or the first couple of zones, have lots of traps like spike pits and the like you can fall into, and it was very, very easy to send myself tumbling head over heels into them. But later game dungeons don't seem to have quite the same emphasis on platforming. There's way more focus on just outright combat against far more difficult enemies. And when you're just like knocking heads together, yeah, this teleport's super handy. It's also a little faster, I want to say.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, and it feels great, man. Combat in this game feels amazing. You could see our boss in the background, just, very placidly watching us.
He's biding his time. He knows he has to fight you at some point.
Oh no, he actually just gives up once you cut through all the guards. He's like, well, you're good enough. See? Still kicking, are you? Remarkable. At last. You might be a challenger worthy of my time. But no, I will not fight you. Worry not, valiant knight. Further this way lives an insane executioner. He rules this part of the temple and he... Well, look around you. The whole dungeon is in decay. This is his masterpiece. Hold on, Val says Exit is quite quiet. Don't you worry, I will pop on over into Discord and fix that. Have to turn everybody up manually the first time they hop on voice. There we go, that should do the job.
No? Is this better now?
Val says BRB, but it should be. You're at the same level I would have most other guests at.
Okay.
So, interesting thing about this game, I've already defeated this boss. I've defeated all but 2 of them as far as I'm aware. But... you start, it kind of takes inspiration from Dead Cells in that every time you die you're sent back to this hub, and start a new run with a loadout of equipment that gradually increases over time as you, say, meet NPCs, collect gear from enemies, or defeat bosses. Defeating bosses almost always grants you a weapon or an item inspired by their moveset.
Like any roguelike, to be honest. I mean, this sounds very roguelike.
Yeah, roguelike... sans randomization. And you can actually equip an item back at the hub after, I want to say, completing 2 of these very basic Cull Enemies quests that Plague Doctor Masked Scribe provides you. with this little gemstone that, in addition to giving you the liberty to freely teleport back to the hub world at any time, prevents bosses from respawning as long as it's in your inventory. Unfortunately...
Okay, I get it.
Unfortunately, we don't have our teleport now, so we're going to have to find a slightly more inventive way of getting back to the hub world. Dying, of course. We don't lose anything upon death.
No. You're never dying in games like this. You're learning.
Well, that's right. We're going to learn our way back home. Come on. Give it to us. There we go. You're in for a show, though, Exit, because I think the next quest, according to a comment I found on a YouTube video, not looking for spoilers or anything, but somebody just brought it up, is going to be fighting one of the hardest bosses in the game with our bare hands.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's really something. Now, speaking of self-esteem, do we have self-esteem equipped? 100% consumable in containers. We want self-esteem. We start out with plenty of consumables now. Eclipse says, you guys are learning. I'm putting myself through a blender till the blades are too blunt to chew me up anymore. No, you're learning a lot through those challenge runs. You know more about the mechanics of a lot of these games than I do, thanks to them. Let's see. We get another consumable. The third guardian, Alemia. Oh, beautiful and dazzling crow lady. Yeah. Kill her with your bare hands. Oh, great. Yep.
Eclipse, if you really want to put yourself into a blender, roll a sorcerer. Sorcery only built in Dark Souls 3 and try to see if you can defeat the dancer at soul level 30. It took me a whole day.
Sorcery builds in Souls 3 are kind of difficult to get off the ground, aren't they? Not so with Faith builds.
No, Faith builds are even worse.
Oh, I did not know
because the really good weapons that you want for a Faith build are really late in the game.
It's kind of like the same experience that, at least in my experience, Dex builds have in the first game. Like, there's a lot of good gear, they just don't give any of it to you until, like, mid-game.
You get the Cell Sword Twin Source right from the start.
No. I said a Dex build in Souls 1. The same experience Dex builds have in Souls 1. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so from here...
Why not 1? Because you only have 1 spell, and it does no damage. Almost no damage. And you still have to dodge. Even if you would do it flawlessly, it would still take you half a day, I think.
Speaking of...
Just beat down the merchant with the Uchi. All for the Uchi. Dude, the merchant is easy.
No, merchant is easy, but it's not worth killing an NPC who sells you things to get a sword very early on, in case you need something. Now, he does also, if I recall, sell a rapier that can get you through the entire game.
True.
Eclipse says, yeah, a sorcery level 1 build would be a bit dull, to be honest. Yep.
The only reason I did it at soul level 30 is because I wanted to get that sword from the soul of Oseros. The Moonblade. What is it called again? Moonlight's Great Sword.
Yes.
That's the build that I was going for. For that, I was making the build all around that sword. So I had to get it pretty early. So.
It's really good in Bloodborne.
So Jesus Christ, that took a whole day just to get the dancer down. Osiris was a little bit easier.
Well, God, I'm gonna be able to just tank her down with our consumables as long as Phase 2 doesn't rip me in half. We're actually doing insane damage with our bare fists, maybe because we spoke to Basilius, the Swordmaster. I love her moveset, though. This is one of the game's few just straight-up knockdown drag-out fights, and it's really well done.
That sword looks really cool, too.
Oh, it is. It is. She's also...
You remember that invasion that you get when you go to the in Dark Souls 3 into the dungeons of Irithyll?
Yes.
There's Alva the Spurned, I think it was, drops a sword just like this. And it almost has the same moveset even. Like the spinning attacks like this and...
Yeah, he wears...
Muramasa, I think?
Yeah, the Muramasa or Morokumo.
Yeah, that's the one.
Morokumo has a much thicker blade, but yeah, similar moveset. Holy shit, we did it.
Yeah,
I mean, okay.
You are rocking this, Brady.
Thank you. It's because, deeper into the dungeons here, we found a set of armor that gives us 5 pips of replenishable armor, which is the way armor typically works in this game, before we even start taking damage to our health. Okay.
I was going to say, is this easy mode?
It's not, but, well, by all accounts, I've been watching bits and pieces of other streamers play. I'm not as bad at this as I would have thought I'd be going in. It took me ages to learn, like, okay, how to use our field of vision effectively, because as you can tell, this game is very dark, by design. So how to detect traps or enemies up ahead, but once I learned that, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
It's nice.
Now let's go get ourselves killed so we can get back to town. This is the thing I don't like about having to refight old bosses. The sword is really cool, even in our possession, but it is... And I get it, the boss was much larger than we are. It is very slow compared to, like, the moveset that she was able to execute with it. I would appreciate a slightly smaller sword scaled for the player character that would give you kind of the same sense of swiftness and, like, horizontal range that she had, in exchange for being a bit weaker.
Yeah, you don't regularly go in games for, like, big sword plays.
No. Now, to be fair, big weapons in this game do feel very weighty and meaty, and a lot of them can cut most enemies down in a couple blows. I like that, I do. But the problem is, out of this game's bosses, and this has one of the best rosters of bosses, mechanically and, like, aesthetically, I've ever seen in a vaguely Souls-like or Metroidvania game. I'm just in love with them. A lot of them, naturally, are quite a bit larger than the player character, for the sake of, you know, presenting an imposing facade. But that also means a lot of their weapons, then, are going to be big and bulky when wielded by this character.
Yeah, okay. What are your choices for faster and smaller weapons, or isn't there that much in there?
Well, the King's Envoy, that rather lazy boss, gave us this Golden Gladius that I've actually used for the greater part of the game. It's very fast, consumes very little stamina, and is actually fast enough to get in on a lot of shielded enemies' guard before they recover from attack animations. Very, very good. What else do we have? There's also...
Okay, that's another sword for you, then.
Absolutely. I've been using this axe, which is simply described as violent, according to its flavor text, because it's just a little slower, but has much greater range. Like, look at this. As you step forward with each swing, as Val pointed out in an earlier stream, and it deals way more damage, and more consistent damage at that. What else do we have, though? I unlocked... Oh, a Shadow Axe from completing the last quest, the Melancholic Axe. Let's see what this does. Okay, I like the design. Yeah. Oh!
That's interesting.
That's cool. That's very cool. Do we get variants of this for the other types of clones we could fight, or no? No.
It's not bad.
No, it's not.
Hold on.
Or no, yeah, it is.
I thought it says bad. I was like, what? What are you talking about?
This is what we got from the first, like, major boss, this halberd, that casts massive arcs of blood with every swing and is somehow perfectly accurate.
What does the blood do, though?
It's just aesthetic.
Oh, okay.
What else do we have? By defeating a fallen angel who'd been taken prisoner by an entity native to the void, we get these absolutely awesome energy fists.
Glow sticks.
Yes, I love them. Eclipse says, a halberd so sharp it causes the air to bleed. I love it.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, but yeah, take the glow sticks to the rave. There you go.
Oh, if only. I think, was it Fallen Angel that had an actual boss fight set inside like a heavenly dance club? I think it was.
The Shadow Axe wins though.
Yeah, for now. I think it's got slightly shorter range than the basic axe, but it's not gonna matter against the really big enemies we have coming up. Oh, this shield is also, a boss item. But what does he have for us? Okay, wear our gift with pride, thank you. Church has no further demands that I can give. You shall go investigate this strange Redeemer's altar near the start of the old dungeon. Do I have to? No, I don't. Excellent, thank you. That's an altar that curses us with a single point of armor and a single point of health for the entire run. As I described, I think, just as you joined us. We ain't about to do that.
Eclipse thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Eclipse could rock that. I cannot. I'm nowhere near that good. What did they give us? Oh, claws. The black beaks. Okay, so two-handed or, like, dual-wielded weapons are actually really good in this game. Super fast. Have a look at this.
That's...
Crows, actually, associated with, the Crow Lady and her Order of Executioners. Which, get this, after you kill her, start randomly spawning in the dungeons and trying to hunt you down with these massive scythes, which you can pick off of their corpses after the fact. Okay, let's see. We're gonna take our Royal Defender, we're gonna take our Shadow Axe, which, has the same exact stats as the baseline axe, so it may just be better. Actually, yeah, that appears to be the same range. The axe itself looks a bit smaller, but it cuts an equally wide arc through the air in front of us. Alright, down to the
Shadow, though.
Down to the King's Palace. I think it summons the Shadow if you complete a two-hit combo with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, what do we have here? Oh, well, here's our ally who's going to fight with us. So, the boss here is, relative to a lot of what we've seen in the game, pretty simple. He's this large, really, like, tanky-looking paladin with a massive two-handed greatsword who's actually pretty slow. But there's this massive sword, I think like one of the king's personal blades, this king who usurped the throne of God in ages past, thrust into the ground in the background. And the sword will sporadically, like, flicker with light, or flicker to life, I suppose, and start casting out lightning-based attacks across the room, and enhancing the paladin's moveset. So, he's nothing to worry about, but we have to watch for the sword. Let me see. Let's take a drink here. Let's see how well I can do this go-around.
Yeah, there's that guy. Come on.
Just for, reference, this is one of the, more plain-looking bosses in the game. And yes, this is one of the nicest people we've met the entire journey. Sorry, Exit, what was that you said a minute ago? I
said Pontiff, that guy.
Let's do it.
Seriously, if you do this whole Shadow thing, it's just the Pontiff moveset.
It is, basically. With, like, fair range this time. I can't cross half the arena with a single blow.
Holy shit. All that stuff.
Yeah, so... As you can see, he's nothing to write home about, but, the sword definitely is.
Oh, yeah.
He actually telegraphs his moves very, very clearly for, like, a late-game boss. Whoop. Best just to get out of the way and let our friend do the work while the bolts are coming down. Okay, so it's buffing him now.
Nameless King, Eclipse says. I can see it.
Yeah, actually.
The Nameless King with a Fume Ultra Greatsword.
Yeah, really. With, like, design of an angel from Darksiders.
Yeah. I can see that.
Oh yeah, you're compared to some of the knights we fought earlier in the game, you are nothing, sir.
Are you taunting him? He's not dead yet, you know.
Oh, I know. There could be a phase 2 here, but we've done decently well against bosses with second phases. Except like a librarian who turned into a massive goat demon after taking a few hits. That was kind of nasty.
Like librarians do.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. Alright.
That was it.
Yeah, okay.
Where's the challenge here, Brad?
We got Azrael's massive sword, the holy warrior's sovereign in King Theodore's right hand. He was the one who wrote the famous Paladin commandments. Oh, sick! Eclipse says,
Nice.
Val says nothing quite like the Fume Ultra Great Sword. It is really good for that class of weapon, yeah. And Eclipse says, I still need to take that boss on, debating between that and Neo tonight. Man, I'd say go for whatever you feel like. You were nearing the end of that Dark Souls 3 run, just a couple more to go. Let's see. Azrael, the Holy Sovereign. He was not described as this tall in my history books. I'm so proud of us. Do not thank me, my dear. I'll be waiting here for a little while. Do not wait for me, the end is near. Okay, so all that's left, I suppose, is King Theodore.
What weapon are you using, Eclipse? On your run?
Eclipse says, yeah, so I do want to get it nipped in the bud. That's fair.
I get that.
So, Exit, surprisingly for the endgame of, like, these bosses, and this last world, there's kind of, as you can see, these 4 disjoint worlds, which each branch off into a number of dungeons with their own bosses, right?
Yeah.
This last one's just a straight boss rush, which I really appreciate. You know, bosses are my favorite element of most games. 2 of the fights, Azrael and the King's personal steed, Chimera, which was less a traditional Chimera and more like a dragon-horse hybrid. Really cool looking.
I returned.
Welcome back, Seth.
Yo.
Yo.
Hello. They were pretty simple. But then there was this one, which was a proper bastard. We had to fight a dragoon and an archer equipped with ice arrows simultaneously, and they each had about as much health as Azrael did. That was really intense and a really good fight.
Alright.
Clip says, Nameless is a matter of getting down the King of the Storm. Soul of Cinder will be rinsed once I learn him. Afraid is, that parry timing will have to be ludicrously consistent. Yeah, because you're doing, like, that low health run. It's gotta be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready for King Theodore? Oh, there's a chest here.
I was walking with Beppo in front of my own garden, and Poppy was in the window, and when she saw me, she just had, like, the look of pure terror, like, what the hell? How am I there?
Get outside!
We can...
Share your secrets!
We can get more health for the final fight. Listen to this description, though. Albino hand from below. When summoned, this black deity offers to become your mistress or kills you.
Yeah, mistress.
Yeah, yeah, like...
Or kills you. I mean, it's a good enough...
I mean, it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. Both of them are good solutions.
Oh, the Royal Peristyle.
He kills you.
Oh, we've got one last bit of lore. The King's Memoirs. Beauty exists in many states, as long as one can perceive it. And nothing is more beautiful than devotion in the eyes of God. You understood that, O good monarch. You fought to show the virility, power, and brilliance of your ideas. Your subjects, your queen, and your 2 sons stand behind you, forever. But, as I understand the lore, Theodore killed the gods, and usurped them. There was one of the gods, the Demiurge, remember, in the last hub world, those of you who caught our earlier streams, chained up after being forced to give up the location of God's throne to the king. There were many victories. One such against the Templars, their deity imprisoned, crystallized. My king, how grateful are we for your protection. Yet golden ages sadly only last a time, and like a cycle, the universe darkens once again. Forever. Okay, so the Templars do not belong to the same, like, country as or serve the king. That was what was confusing me. The Templars are questing through this, like, debauched temple in an attempt to free their god from the king who's drawing on its power. Okay. This makes sense. I love all of the puns in chat. Excellent. Influenced by the Holy Crystal, or what do we know? Its white sparkle brought on our damnation. Weakness grew amongst our ranks, pernicious and surreptitious. and since then the Templars move ever closer to the bowels of the temple, which seems out of control forever. Okay. This isn't daunting in the least. I'm so glad, we've got a decently sized audience. Thank you all so much for being with me today as we hopefully finish this game up. Thanks to Seth and Exit for joining me in voice. This is a real treat having all you guys here with me. Oh!
I told you need to stop being so modest. You're genuinely interesting to watch.
Thank you very much.
Play.
Wait, the Queen? Not the King?
I mean, maybe he had a gender swap.
No, she seems to be out of her mind. She was, like, asking for her sons, who I assume the king probably killed, knowing how these kinds of stories play out usually. So, she seems pretty weak. I assume she's, like, just something of a preview of his fight.
That design is beautiful, though.
It really is.
That shadow clone is not doing the same damage you are doing, by the way.
No, it's doing slightly less.
What? Did I say something funny?
No, I'm just dying of cough.
Oh.
She tried to push us back into the orbs, but no dice! Ah! One more! Oh, she blocked us. Oh. Well, that'll do it. She's not exactly on foot now, but she's...
On her knees?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So she's raising a shield to block us, but our clone can go straight through it. We're meant to, like, exploit these, openings in her moveset, but, we've got a clone. Thanks, Mad Phantoms.
Oh my god, like, just this position of her lying down, it reminds me of that fight from Dark Souls 3.
Oh god, Lorien and Lothric.
Yeah.
Yep. The twin princess.
Well, that didn't feel all that good, to be honest with you. We just murdered a poor, grief-stricken old woman. Now let's make it to the king.
Yeah.
Oh.
And also, don't forget to loot her.
Oh, she didn't drop anything. Oh, something else really interesting we noticed. Exit, I think you might like this. You see these, like, little, bits of blood spatter around all of the boss emblems?
Yeah.
They all take on a different appearance, in reference to, like, the appearance or aesthetics of the boss they represent. So, like, let me see. Azrael's has his sword. The Queen's has, I think, her crown. It's a minor thing, but I really like it. Val says, okay, so when your character does her yell, it sounds like Ash's ult sound from Overwatch? Really now?
That was a bad idea.
Seth, that was a bad... Say the same thing. That was a bad idea, Seth.
God damn it.
Alright, so the king is in snowy heaven, which is, of course, underneath the blood-slick, deranged throne room. You know, as you do. Disease Purgeon statue? Yeah, I think she hit us with something that caused us to lose stamina upon taking damage. We want to get rid of that if we can. More healing items? Yes. Teleportation, we'll take it. I'm so terrified about what this is going to be. The Queen was surprisingly simple.
Yeah, that's a lot of goodies here, so I'm assuming the next fight is gonna be...
Yeah, you're gonna be needing all those goodies.
Yeah. Well...
Dear God, you're gonna die.
There's God. It's seen better days, I suppose. The Guardian, Abyss's jailer. Hello, Your Highness.
Sup, boy?
Sup, boy?
So he's got combos.
Going a little gangster on him. Sup, boy?
Why does he look like Echo?
Oh my god, he kinda does. He's got lots of health, too.
Like Echo.
Yep.
Oh,
And those balls that stay there and then they're gonna explode. Echo. Oh, they disappeared. Never mind. Also, why the hell am I watching that on the stream? I should be watching that on Discord.
Screen on Discord though is so small.
It is. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so we can block him, like when he attacks with the lightsaber. And it's a literal saber made of light. Like, Eclipse, you're our weaponry expert. His sword bears the shape of either a saber or like a Xiphos of some kind, right? Oh god, it's spawning Dark Clones too. It knows our game.
I know.
He's onto you.
Cheese it! We've been made!
Uh-oh.
It looks like a sword, looks more like a spear.
Yeah, it kinda does.
Like a javelin, kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
The only thing that I know about javelins is that you can throw them and there's usually a flag on top of them. That's what Fire Emblem taught me.
His combos are absurdly long.
Yeah, hit that knee, hit that knee.
It says kind of like a Xiphos with a more pronounced crossguard.
Yeah.
Oh god!
Your
So,
devotion has faded.
You died on a boss fight?
yeah.
Well, sucks. I guess we're turning muscle.
Well, no, that one was new. It just had an absurd amount of hits per combo. That's kind of new. Oh dear. Do we want better accuracy? No, we don't need better accuracy anymore. We'll take additional damage. Val says, I don't think this is God, but seems like a penultimate. No, the thing in the crystal was God. I'm fairly certain what we were fighting was the king. What do we want? We definitely need our healing items, yikes. Wait a minute. We don't need our faith anymore, though. So, we can use it, or we can use the entity shield to deal chip damage to him for every attack he lands on our shield. That might be the trick. Vela says, honestly, it's shaped a lot like a Celtic leaf blade. Yeah, a bit.
No, it was a bit too long for that.
Wait, no, we're going to need to teleport down, that's right. So we don't have to fight the queen again. Let's try this again. I noticed that the screen even starts to, like, stutter and break as we leave this reality. That's kind of a nice touch. Yeah, I was not expecting this after everything else. I was expecting, like, you know, a pretty standard high fantasy king with lightning powers. This is much cooler.
Colors is right, I mean, it's how you use it.
Yeah, I can't really roll away from this guy, can I? My one strategy, no! What on earth is this?
I'll call it pink eye. Little eyeball.
We could damage him there.
My god. Val says blade length is what defines a bastard sword. Yep.
Here
More
we go.
giggity.
Giggity.
So he's using the spear less frequently, sword spear, whatever it is, in this fight. I do like that. Sorry, did it just freeze us in place? Oh no. Well, King knows how to fight, that's for certain.
What's this?
This is new.
Yeah, this is new.
We can damage him, though. He's, taking the form of the crystal. No, we're not damaging him. We just... Sorry, that's my blood glucose alarm doing its thing, again, because this model just isn't working.
Hey, Seth, did we ever play that Monster Hunter clone from Epic?
Dauntless?
What?
Isn't Monster Hunter a clone from Epic called Dauntless?
No, I thought it was different. It's been a while. I can't remember.
So it seems like the less aggressive we are, maybe the less aggressive he is with the spear.
Wait. Eclipse says, I'm 5'2". I wouldn't use the same Zweihander, for example, as someone who is 6'4". How are you guys so small? Did your mothers not water you enough?
Yeah.
I come from a very, very short family.
And you were right, by the way, Seth. It's Dauntless.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
right.
I did play it a little bit, but it was just boring. I don't know. To be honest, I'm playing a lot of Monster Hunter, but that's because I want to complete it.
It was pissing me off because it was so intricate and there was so much to do that I didn't know what to do anymore. I was like, nah.
This has got to be like his desperation attack when he breaks the two Gladii out. Oh!
Val says, check out the orbs in the background. They are disappearing when he attacks or something. It's like a countdown. And yeah, Dauntless was pretty boring. Eclipse says, my family is short and I have hormonal disease that caused my skeletal structure to age more rapidly. Thus, I hit my growth cap far earlier. Okay, that makes sense, but like, we have a lot of short people in this community. I feel like a giant compared to you guys.
You're still small compared to me.
Yeah. Val says, it's a mix of Destiny
better.
and Monster Hunter in the worst ways. Yep.
Much better. He just starts spamming that dual sword technique.
Yeah.
But up until then, we were doing really well.
Yeah, you were.
If I still had the 5 pips of health from outside the Queen's boss room, I think we would have gotten that. Okay, let's give it one more try. Eclipse, let me know if I'm like right up against your designated start time, and I will be happy to abort this for now. But we're almost there. Almost there. Fingers crossed. Okay. Let's do this. Not as useful, but something that... Wait, no! No, those green needles are incredibly useful. They increase our stamina regen for the duration of the fight.
Flip says, I still got 25 minutes, and like I said, I can delay it if needed.
I really appreciate that, man. I'm gonna try not to get right up against it. Hopefully this is it. This is a difficulty spike, but not an unreasonable one. You know, probably the final boss. What's interesting is we can still deal damage to him in this form. Jesus Christ.
He loves to poke you.
Yeah, and there's no, like, blocking or dodging the entire combo. It's almost like you would need a... Oh no, he's about to freeze us.
Did you block the freeze, or did you roll through it?
The freeze, no. There's no way to mitigate that, I don't think. Oh.
Okay.
Your Majesty, you okay? You seem to be a little stuck yourself there. Oh, no.
What did you do?
That's what those projectiles do. They freeze you.
Yeah?
No way around it that I can tell. Oh, God. He's placing them way more effectively this time. Okay, good. This we can manage.
Okay, that's why I brought up Dauntless, because I remember a beast doing something similar to this.
Really now?
Yeah, he drags you into like a dark world and you see like orbs coming out. You have to dodge all the orbs coming out.
Oh, that's cool.
And then at some point he jumps, the beast jumps out of the portal himself and you have to stun him. That's the only way to get out of the nightmare world.
Sorry about that. But kind of like, a mix of Neo 2's Yokai Realm mechanics and Phantom Ganon from Ocarina of Time. Gee, you think that combo's long enough?
That's what she said.
Oh god, here we go. Okay. Oh, I'm so tense right now, you guys have no idea.
Slow and steady wins the race, man.
Yeah, really. And again, this might just be me, but he seems way less dangerous or less active the more passive we are. Oh wait, you can actually see him up above the arena right now.
Yeah. It does look like he's like vanishing to a different realm or something. Because he's like all phased out all the way.
The orbs are counting down the duration until he performs that attack, I bet. Oh god, no. No, 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 no.
What's that shit?
Yeah, I think so. Well, Val said it looked like he was counting down to something. I think Seth might have said the specific. No, 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 no.
Val says, it seems like the orbs are the crystal's power source. Fascinating.
Okay, Brady, don't choke. Don't choke. Oh, we choking.
Aww.
Stop choking. It's bad for you.
Cough it out, cough it out.
Yeah, cough it out.
Oh. There you go, Seth. Yeah, right like that.
Good.
Okay, so his orbs are coming far more frequently in this phase. Or at this point, I should say.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my
Stamina, stamina, come on.
Oh my god, 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 oh my god. God my O, God my O.
There we go!
Nice.
Thank God we could actually damage him during that. Oh, is that it? And we actually get a voice-acted outro, I bet.
I'll be quiet then.
Yeah, that looks more or less like me after all this. Well.
GG and nice, say Val and Eclipse.
Thank you very much, guys. This was great.
Is this the end of the story, like the main story? Or...
Yes.
Ooh.
As far as I'm aware. We saved God, and God looks a little, intimidating, but... we get rewarded, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, we get the loot.
That's why we play games. Forget it.
That's it. The first game by Hibernian Workshop. Wow, what an experience that was.
That is a really good game.
Absolutely phenomenal. And as you can see, looks like a pretty small team, a very small team.
That's very short credits.
I'm blown away. Guys, of the Metroidvanias we've played, like, obviously, Hollow Knight kind of stands in a class of its own, but if you were to design a game to specifically appeal to my personal, like, mechanical and aesthetic sensibilities, it'd honestly be really hard to do much better than this, at least as far as, like, a Metroidvania is concerned. Short, but numerous stages, each with their own distinct aesthetic that you can't really get confused with any other, capped off by meaningful, rewarding, since they actually give you tangible rewards that expand your armory significantly, and mechanically unique boss fights. As I said, very few of those were just standard, much as I hate to say it, Dark Souls 1-esque slugfests with a big beastie you have to just roll around and whittle down. A lot of them had something interesting to introduce to the equation, be it the dual boss battle against the King's two envoys just up above the throne room, or, sorry about that, I will take care of this right now, my stupid glucose monitor, there we go.
In the meantime, Eclipse, why don't you jump into Discord with us to prepare for your stream?
Yes, please. Or the Shredder. The Shredded Martyr, I think was its name, in the sewers, which could expend its shield, send it away from itself in order to temporarily bolster its attacks. And you had this kind of incentivization to keep knocking the shield away from the boss in order to render it vulnerable. That was really cool. A couple bosses that weren't traditional fights whatsoever, like the Envoy or the Virgin, which required us to just deal with hordes of enemies, and use the prayer mechanic in a combat application for the only time in the entire game. All of these were phenomenally designed, and they stand out to me as the linchpin of the game. Great bosses that feel diverse, non-derivative, and like they each have a presence within the game. Areas and basic combat against enemies, navigation, all that's great too. But it really serves as, like, gravy on top of what is a really, really well-executed formula with these more significant fights. For me, I think the most appreciable thing about this game, like, its story is fine, its world is atmospheric and weighty, narrative itself isn't great, but, you know, it's not terrible either, it's serviceable. The most appreciable thing here, because it's an issue we've had with a lot of Souls-likes on this channel, is that this game and its creators knew how the hell to use space. They respected the space they had. They didn't create these vast labyrinthine dungeons with unfulfilling or kind of afterthought payoff in the form of mediocre boss battles or generic repetitive loot. Instead, they had dense, really, really reasonably sized areas that all serve the purpose of acting as a vehicle for this unique loot and these unique encounters they wanted you to experience. The area served as an atmosphere instead of just a bunch of maintenance corridors that they would disperse content around all willy-nilly. My biggest problem with Hellpoint. I love this game. I can't recommend it enough. I am so glad I got to experience it with you guys, and so glad that Exit could be here with us for this. We've really missed you, man.
I miss you guys.
Let's see, Val says, glad you got the chance to play it. Those vast labyrinth dungeons are common in Dead Cells. Yeah, but Dead Cells also uses, like, procedural generation, one of my biggest, like, pet peeves in video games. But the whole concept, the whole conceit there, the reason it works in Dead Cells is that you're encouraged to, like, speed run and explore and navigate on the fly. Dead Cells does, or goes for a very different feel, a very different player experience than this game does. I will tell you, I prefer this to Dead Cells 10-1, but that's my personal aesthetic preference. They're both very well-made games. I admire this because it came from a small team, it was their first project together, and they blew the doors off. These folks, these fine folks over at Hibernian Workshop have a new title coming out some point in the future. I don't think a concrete release date has been set, but it's called Astral Ascent. It is a roguelite, roguelite, I think they describe it. Like, combat platformer, so kind of taking a lot of the design elements from this game, but applying them to a framework where maybe mobility and navigation are emphasized a little bit more, where you get to play as one of 4 distinct characters, like distinct classes, and journey through a variety of exotic, like, supernatural worlds in an effort to, well, I'm not entirely sure what the goal is, but you have to, along the way, square off against the Zodiacs, 12 really imposing and no doubt extremely inventively designed bosses based on, like, the signs of the Zodiac. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna stream it as soon as it's released because I want to support this team and all they do. I hope you guys look into their catalog as well. Sorry, that's all I got for you.
One thing to add, because you did go along, you said, well, I don't like the platforming, you know, some of these 2D things, and I really did enjoy the thing that they didn't do is platforming in it. So
yeah.
all the fights and all the bosses that I've seen, and there was a little, because I haven't seen everything, but there was little platforming going on, and that was really cool. To make a game and not fall into that platforming gap, because that's what, if you make a 2D game, that's the first thing you would think of. I mean, how are we going to make this fight interesting? Oh, it's 2D, so yeah, but let's include platforming. I mean, I've seen it in every roguelike 2D platforming. It's always platforming in there.
Yeah.
So what they did with not putting platforming in, but thinking of other things that you could do to make the boss fights interesting, and to make the areas interesting, really good. Top-notch stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Exit. That is important to note here as well, because, like, even though Seth didn't, I really like Salt and Sanctuary, but when it tried to integrate its platforming, which was serviceable, into some of the boss fights, that's where it felt kind of weak to me. And likewise, with otherwise brilliant games like Blue Fire, which I loved, and was very happy to stream for you all, I want to say, last month, when that game tried to integrate its beautifully smooth, rich, and diverse platforming into its lackluster combat, oh boy, things went crapwards really fast. This game, kind of like Mortal Shell, right? They knew exactly what they could do, and they wanted to execute, I feel like, on the things that they felt were most important as well as they could, instead of just overburdening the game with 200 different mechanics and ideas and thinking that complexity automatically correlates to quality. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it can, but only if you have a really solid foundation to work off of.
Yeah, I want to add, like, for the Salt and Sanctuary thing, I didn't hate the game, so I loved the game up until the point where platforming was a major part of traversing the stages. Yeah. And that's when it just killed it for me. Like, I could not, I could not find enough pleasure in other aspects to cover for the annoying parts with platforming. So.
That's fair.
But like for people that are, I guess, better at platforming than I am, especially in games like that, I think that's a beautiful game.
I'm gonna log off and get something to eat. I wish you a great stream. I might be back later if the clips will let me. And you guys all have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Exit Dust. Thank you for joining us, sir. Good evening.
No problem, no problem. See ya.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for Dark Devotion. Val says, I really want to try playing Pray for the Gods on stream sometime soon. Oh, yeah, go for it. I'd love to see the game. I've not seen it yet, so exploring it with you would be a lot of fun. And
we just talked about it in one of the podcast episodes because of the naming.
The Bethesda lawsuit controversy, of course.
Oh,
hey, Eclipse.
Hi.
How are we doing?
Not bad, how are you?
Hanging in there, thanks. Do you have any, like, you or Seth, either or, have any final thoughts on this game, since you've both explored a fair bit of it with me?
Well, you seem to enjoy it, obviously, and that's a good thing. I think a couple of things I noticed were, some of the bosses were a bit, they were good, but I don't know, it just felt a bit like there was a trick to doing them all.
Yeah, exactly. And that is, it's fair to say, something that some players will be turned off by. I've spoken on stream about how, kind of unusually amongst the Soulsborne crowd, I really like gimmick bosses. I know a lot of people really don't.
I don't mind them if the gimmick's good. I'm just not a fan of the whole Ancient Wyvern thing where, oh, you run up and jump in his head. It's like... Oh.
Right. Right, and fortunately, it didn't seem like this game had any of those.
No, not from what I could see. But, like, the boss with the long sword, the kind of long saber, was, like, really interesting, because, like, for a time you were, like, if you fought it the way you fought every other boss, it was just block, 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 block.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's right, we had to use the Entity's shield to bring her down the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's a great game, and one thing I will say, I've not been able to say this, I think, about any game we've streamed so far. There was not a single boss there I did not enjoy, in some capacity or another. There are some I felt could have been tuned this way or that, but man, that is rock-solid design. Like, the thing I can appreciate, one of the things I can appreciate most about this game is, at the end of this adventure, there's no area where I feel like, oh, this one aspect was executed, like, really poorly. At worst, everything here was solid. Do you have any idea how rare that is anymore?
Probably
It's
rarer
crazy.
than it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the meantime, while we wait for your stream to begin, Eclipse, really quickly, anybody still in chat? I'm interested in your opinion because I've got 2 options for what I can stream in future. Okay. Well, several options, but let me just throw a few names out there. If you would like, I could stream Hades, which I got in the post just a couple weeks ago. That is a roguelike game that is pretty heavy on repetition. Seth has elected not to stream it, so as I understand it, it might be a lot of fun to explore, but maybe not the best game for a series. We could start playing the Mega Man Zero games, some of my favorite side-scrolling, like, action-adventure titles of all time, which I have in a collection along with the ZX titles on the Switch. Or, oh goodness gracious, what else do I have? We could, with just a little bit of coordination, start up a co-op playthrough of Remnant for the Ashes on PS4 with our good friend Comrade Potato, who has expressed interest in joining me for that game. Val says, I want to see a game you're familiar with. Okay, so Val says, I would also love to join in Remnant. You're welcome to, you're welcome to. We could do both. One thing I'm thinking of doing is streaming my main projects, the things I really want to work on, during this slot, or a roughly equivalent slot, so that most of our viewers, most of my friends, can be present in chat or voice or what have you. This is like prime time for most of our audience. And then late at night for me, which would be way into like mid-late morning for most of you guys. Streaming mainly just for archival purposes, little like roguelikes or indie games or things that I think I might just want to chip away at more casually, but we'll see about that.
Sounds like a great idea.
Any thoughts, you guys? Anything that you would like to see out of what I've listed? I could also do Greedfall, like a D-list action RPG.
I'm going to I'm a sucker for co-op.
All right.
And
am
I
an
think
absolute
Potato
sucker
would
for
love it.
co-op.
All right, so Remnant it is, it sounds like. A game I know about, generally, but have never played. I'm going to have some fun with that, then. Val will be in touch, then, to set up times, I suppose. It should be around this time slot, between 12 to 1 our time, for, like, around 3 hours, a couple days a week. Let me see. Let me head on over to Twitch, and Eclipse, are you live,
Yeah,
sir?
I'm ready to hit live whenever.
All right. Hold on. Let me go to my mod
hit
view.
live.
I'm going to have to learn how to raid for the first time. We're going to send it on over to Eclipse's show, ladies and gents. So.
Slash raid and then the name.
Ah, I got you.
And then you're gonna get a timer on top.
Here's everyone.
Hold on.
Of course, the person needs to be online, like live.
Gotcha. Just
Yep,
say
I
the word.
just hit live, so I should be on.
All right. Let's do this,
Ooh,
y'all.
nice.
Thank you all so much for joining me for today's stream. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you, and I hope you'll stick around for Eclipse's show. It's one hell of a run. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.
It's an interesting one for starters.
See you in the new stream.
There we are.
Nice.
And now I'm live.
The mighty Dargon is live.
And thank you, Atlas, for the raid I did not know was coming.
Oh, you definitely did not see that coming. Also, why the hell do I
No.
have 2 windows open for Eclipse's stream? Ah, there we go.
Good question. Probably because you had mine open and then Brady's jumped to mine.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so Eclipse, your call. I know these are extremely high-stress runs. Do you want us to stick around on commentary for this, or...?
You know what, let's give it a shot, right? Let's give it a shot and see what happens.
Fair dues. Hello, Princess Luna.
Hi,
GS, how are
Luna.
you?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to change my title just to say I've got a commentary, just because it's not something I usually do. So I want to
Alright.
let people know.
I'm not level Vigor. One shot or Vigor. How do you pronounce that?
Vigor.
Vigor.
Bigger.
Vigor. Okay.